They weren't random people. They were lessons. People will tell you it was just coincidence, that she just happened to enter your life, or that he just happened to break your heart. That your friends who disappeared were just part of life. But that's not the full truth. That's what people say so they don't have to look deeper. Carl Jung didn't believe in random events. He believed in patterns, symbols, and soul connections. He believed that life doesn't happen to you, it shows you who you are. He said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Think about that. What if your breakup wasn't meant to destroy you, but to destroy your illusions? What if the betrayal wasn't bad luck, but a divine wake-up call to pull you out of something toxic? The universe doesn't just send people, it sends mirrors. Every person you meet reflects something about you, your fears, your wounds, your worth, your patterns. The one who loved you and left showed you how attached you were to things that were never meant to last. The one who manipulated you showed you the part of you that still believes love must be earned through pain. The one who left without closure taught you that you are the closure you've been searching for. So no, it wasn't random. None of it was. It was spiritual surgery, your soul calling in exactly what you needed, not what your ego wanted. Because sometimes God doesn't send comfort, He sends challenges that bring your hidden pain to the surface so you can finally heal it. This isn't about blame, it's about awakening. Every person you've ever loved, feared, hated, or obsessed over wasn't a mistake. They were a message from your own soul saying, it's time to grow. Carl Jung didn't just study people. He studied the patterns behind them. When you start doing the same, you stop asking, why did they hurt me, and start asking, what were they here to teach me? That's when healing begins. That's when you stop being trapped in the past and start remembering who you really are. Carl Jung didn't see people as random strangers. He saw them as messages in human form. Every person is a mirror, not one that shows your appearance, but one that reflects your soul. Have you ever had a stranger say something that felt so personal it hit your heart? That wasn't coincidence. That was alignment, your soul was ready for that message. Ever fallen in love and then lost that person suddenly? That wasn't betrayal. That was your hidden pain taking shape, showing you what you still needed to heal. We think we choose people, but often, something greater chooses them for us. The universe doesn't send comfort, it sends clarity. People are assignments. Some come to heal you. Some come to challenge you. Some come to break down your illusions so you can rebuild in truth. They don't come to make you happy, they come to make you see. Because until you face what's inside, the world will keep sending you people who trigger it. Your soul doesn't want comfort, it wants truth, freedom, and wholeness. And sometimes, the only way to get there is through the fire someone else lights. The more you heal, the less painful your relationships become. As you change inside, the kind of people you attract changes too. Heal the wound, and the mirror changes. So next time someone enters your life, ask yourself, what part of me are they reflecting? What are they here to teach me? What truth are they unlocking within me? When you start asking those questions, you stop seeing people as mistakes and start seeing them as messengers, even the painful ones. Every person who enters your life doesn't just show up, they're sent. People are mirrors of your deepest truths, not your surface desires. Not everyone is meant to stay. Some come to love you, others to awaken you. Some appear to trigger the parts of your soul that have been asleep too long. If someone says something that shakes you to your core, that's not chance. That's a soul contract being activated, an agreement your soul made before you even understood it. If you fall in love and it turns to chaos, leaving you heartbroken, that person wasn't sent to complete you, they were sent to reveal you, to break open the false identity you've been clinging to. Jung called this the shadow, the parts of yourself you don't want to face. The people you meet pick up those projections and show them to you. They mirror back everything you've denied. And that's how growth happens, not by accident, but by design. The people who annoy you the most often show you the parts of yourself you haven't accepted yet. The people you can't stop thinking about often reflect the wounds you still haven't healed. And the people you're most afraid to lose often reveal the emptiness you've been too scared to face alone. People don't just show up by accident. They're placed in your life on purpose, spiritually, intentionally. Some are guides, some are messengers, and some come to destroy the false version of you so the real one can emerge. They break down your ego. They tear off your mask. They force you to face the pain you thought you buried. And even though it hurts, it's sacred work. In Jung psychology, this is how you become whole, by facing and integrating every lost, broken, or rejected part of yourself. You don't become your higher self by reading about healing. You become your higher self by surviving the people who were sent to challenge your illusions. That friend who betrayed you wasn't evil. They were a mirror, showing you the pain of abandonment you still carry. The partner who triggered all your insecurities was reflecting the wounds you kept hidden. The one who left without closure was teaching you that closure comes from within, not from others. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Most people spend their lives running from their triggers. But what if the trigger is actually the teacher? What if that person you can't stop thinking about isn't meant to come back, but their lesson still hasn't been learned? Every human interaction teaches you something. Every relationship is a classroom for your soul. Every heartbreak is a lesson plan for your transformation. So instead of asking, why did this happen to me, ask, what is this trying to show me? The universe doesn't speak in words. It speaks through people. And when you finally learn to listen, you'll see you were never being punished, you were being prepared. It's easy to hate the ones who hurt you, to replay what happened, to resent the silence. But what if those who broke you weren't enemies at all? What if they were sacred messengers disguised as chaos? Jung understood this deeply. He didn't see suffering as punishment, he saw it as a doorway. He said there is no awakening without pain, because the soul grows through cracks, not comfort. The people who hurt you weren't random. They appeared to pull you out of the false version of yourself, the one built on fear, people-pleasing, and survival. The one who betrayed your trust forced you to see who truly deserves your energy. The lover who left without explanation broke your heart, but also taught you to be your own light. The friend who disappeared when you needed them most showed you that not everyone deserves access to your healing. These weren't just painful moments, they were spiritual initiations, invitations to become someone stronger, freer, more real. Jung taught that the wound is where the breakthrough begins. The people who wound you become the ones who push you into transformation. You don't become powerful by being protected from pain, you become powerful by turning pain into purpose. Yes, they hurt you. But that pain opened doors inside you that would have stayed locked forever. You stopped giving without boundaries. You stopped tolerating nonsense. You began to value your energy and heal the part of you that believed you had to earn love to deserve it. So instead of cursing them, thank them. They did what your comfort zone never could, they woke you up. Thank them for being the storm that destroyed your old walls, because only then did you remember how to build your own sky. In Jung's view, the shadow isn't your enemy, it's your invitation. And the people who trigger your shadow the most often carry the key to your next level of growth. So don't ask, why did they hurt me? Ask, what did they awaken in me? That's where healing begins, not by forgetting what happened, but by understanding what it taught you. That's how the light gets in. Have you ever met someone and felt like you already knew them, like the connection started lifetimes ago? That strange sense of déjà vu isn't random either. It's your soul recognizing a familiar energy, a reminder that some connections go far deeper than this lifetime. That feeling of deep knowing when you meet someone, like your soul quietly says, "Oh, it's you again." That's not just chemistry. That's recognition. It's not your mind remembering, it's your soul. Carl Jung believed that beneath every individual mind lies the collective unconscious, a shared spiritual memory that holds everything our souls have ever known. That's why you can meet a stranger and instantly feel safe, seen, and connected. Sometimes the bodies are meeting for the first time, but the souls have met before. This isn't fantasy, it's resonance. Some souls don't come into your life to teach you something new. They come to help you remember what your soul already knows. When you say, "I've known you forever," what you really mean is, "My soul has been waiting for this moment." These connections aren't just relationships, they're awakenings. Some last a lifetime. Some stay for a short time. Some come to open your heart, then leave once their purpose is complete. Before you were born, your soul made certain agreements, soul contracts, with others. Some souls agreed to love you, some to challenge you, some to wake you up from your unconscious patterns. You don't attract them, you remember them. And when that remembering happens, it feels like time stops. Everything aligns. The noise of the world fades, and for a moment, you feel something timeless. Jung understood this deeply. He said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. That's what these soul connections do, they change you. Not always gently, but always spiritually. The soul doesn't crave comfort. It craves growth. And growth often comes through people who make you feel both safe and awakened at once. So when you meet someone and something in you says, you feel familiar, trust it. That's not fantasy, it's a contract unfolding. It's the universe reminding you that you're not alone. You're part of a soul family, a group of souls traveling together across lifetimes, meeting again when it's time to evolve. These meetings are sacred. Honor them, even if they end. Because even when the ending is painful, the connection itself was divine. Not every soul that enters your life is meant to stay forever. That's not a failure, that's how it's designed. Some people come like cherry blossoms, beautiful, gentle, but brief. Their magic lies in their shortness. They remind you that beauty isn't meant to be possessed, only experienced. Others come like storms, wild, sudden, and intense. They break your old self apart so you can rebuild stronger. When they leave behind wisdom and clarity. And then there are the roots, the quiet souls who stay unseen but hold you up when life gets heavy. Jung believed that every soul we meet has meaning. There are no coincidences, only inner truths being reflected through outer experiences. He said, your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakes? Every relationship is an invitation to wake up. But we often make the mistake of trying to make everyone stay. We cling to the cherry blossoms and want them to grow roots. We try to hold on to storms long after their work is done. We confuse teachers for soulmates and lessons for lifelong bonds. But the universe doesn't work like that. It sends people according to your level of growth. When their message is delivered, they may leave because their mission is complete. Instead of resenting their absence, honor it. What matters most isn't how long they stayed, but what they awakened in you while they were here. Did they help you see your worth? Did they reflect your wounds? Did they remind you of your light? That was their purpose. Every person you meet helps you uncover a new part of yourself. Maybe the friend who ghosted you taught you not to chase loyalty. The lover who left without goodbye taught you the strength of giving yourself closure. The mentor who disappointed you taught you to stop idolizing others and trust your own wisdom. These aren't abandonments, they're spiritual redirections. When you chase people who were meant to leave, they left because their part in your life was complete. Their presence had a purpose, and once it was fulfilled, their time in your story ended. Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists." That means the more you fight to understand why they disappeared, the more you stay stuck in pain, trying to rewrite a chapter that's already over. The real hurt isn't always about them leaving. It's about your struggle to accept that they weren't meant to stay forever. We grow up believing that true love never ends and that real friends never drift away. But that's not how life works. Some people come into your life not to stay, but to wake you up, to challenge you, to show you something about yourself, to help you grow. And once their purpose is complete, they leave. Not to hurt you, but because their work is done. We often confuse how long someone stays with how valuable they were. But sometimes, the shortest connections teach us the biggest lessons. When someone leaves without explanation, let that be the explanation. Closure doesn't come from them, it comes from you. You don't need their words to heal. You don't need their approval to move forward. Instead, ask yourself, what did their presence awaken in me? What version of me was born through that pain? What truth did they help me see? That's where healing begins. And here's the truth: when you refuse to let go of someone whose role is finished, you block new people who are meant for your next chapter. Don't let memories trap you. Don't live in moments that were only meant to move you forward. Let them go, not with anger, but with quiet gratitude for what they taught you. Sometimes the universe doesn't want you to get answers. It wants you to evolve. So breathe. Be thankful even if they never hear it. Some endings aren't really endings. They're beginnings in disguise. And remember, you've been that person for others too. While you've been missing someone, someone else has been healing because of you. While you've been wondering why someone came into your life, another person has been wondering why you came into theirs. We focus so much on who hurt or helped us that we forget we've done the same for others. You've been a mirror, a teacher, a comfort, a challenge, a reason someone changed. Even if they never thanked you. Even if they left quietly. That's the nature of soul connections. They don't always end with closure or appreciation, but they leave a lasting impact. We're all connected threads in one big tapestry, each playing our part. You're not just someone who learns, you're someone who teaches too. You've been a sign, a spark, a turning point in someone else's journey, even if you'll never know it. So before you grieve who left, remember this: you're part of something bigger. You're not just a student in the story, you're also a guide. You've been someone's sacred detour, the person who helped another soul see what they couldn't see until you appeared. That's the quiet power of being human. The invisible work of the soul. So the next time you feel small, forgotten, or replaceable, remember this: you are also the answer to someone else's question. You are the lesson in someone else's growth. Even if they never say it, you mattered. You changed something. You left fingerprints on their evolution. That's the beauty of it all: we're not just living, we're weaving. Every meeting, every heartbreak, every goodbye is a stitch in the soul's fabric. This isn't chaos. It's choreography. Carl Jung understood that. He didn't just study the mind, he mapped the evolution of the soul. So if you've ever wondered why you met certain people, why you had to feel so deeply, lose so much, and change so completely, maybe it's because you weren't just meant to be transformed. You were meant to transform others too. You were meant to be a teacher in someone else's story. They left. They ghosted you. They lied. They loved you just enough to keep you hanging but not enough to stay. They made promises they never meant to keep. They disappeared without closure, without a reason, as if you never mattered. And you stayed up night after night, trying to glue the pieces of yourself back together with questions. But here's the truth: they weren't a mistake. They were a message. Carl Jung said, "What you deny in yourself will appear in the people you attract." That person who disrespected you reflected your own lack of self-respect. The one who abandoned you mirrored your fear of being alone. The one who manipulated you triggered the part of you that still believes love must be earned through pain. These people didn't come to love you. They came to wake you up. Because the most powerful lessons don't come wrapped in peace. They come wrapped in pain. The wrong people are often the perfect mirrors. They show you the parts of yourself you've ignored for too long. And while your ego calls it betrayal, your soul calls it transformation. You didn't lose them. You found yourself. You found the part of you that tolerated too much. You found the wounds that still needed healing. You found the inner child that was still waiting to be chosen. And now that you've seen the truth, you have two choices: keep blaming the mirror, or start healing the wound. It's easy to ask, why did they hurt me? But the real question is, what part of me allowed it? Because when you take responsibility, you reclaim your power. No more victim stories. No more waiting for closure from people who were never capable of giving it. You weren't weak for trusting. You weren't foolish for loving deeply. You were human. And now, you're becoming conscious. Carl Jung once said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." This pain isn't a setback. It's a doorway to self-worth, boundaries, and emotional strength. The lesson was never about them. It was always about you. So stop trying to get back what broke you. Stop replaying old memories hoping they'll change. Instead, ask what life was trying to teach you through them. Because when you finally learn the lesson, you stop attracting the same pain in different faces. That's the gift the wrong people bring. Souls feel before minds understand. Before your mind thinks a thought, before your ears hear a word, before your eyes meet someone's gaze, your soul already knows. That instant feeling you get isn't random. It's resonance. Have you ever met someone who made you feel heavy, like the room suddenly dimmed? Or someone whose presence felt like light even in silence? That's not chance, that's energy speaking. Carl Jung believed every person carries an invisible field made of memories, beliefs, pain, and truth. When two people meet, their energy begins a silent conversation before words ever do. You can fake a smile. You can say all the right things. But energy doesn't lie, and the soul always listens. You feel it when someone says I love you, but your body tightens. You feel it when someone's being polite, but you sense a quiet hostility. You feel it when someone compliments you, but you walk away drained. Why? Because your energy can read what words try to hide. Your unconscious mind is always scanning tone, facial expressions, emotional tension. That's why you've trusted people who looked kind but exhausted you, and avoided others who seemed harsh but made you feel safe. That's soul recognition. That's vibrational truth. The most powerful intuition isn't logic. It's your body's reaction to unseen truth. That gut feeling, that tension, that unexplainable peace, that's your soul talking. And the more awake you become, the less you'll tolerate people whose energy doesn't match their words. Some people carry chaos in calm faces. Others carry peace behind weary eyes. Trust the feeling, not the performance. The ones who drain you are still bleeding energy from their unhealed wounds. The ones who uplift you have turned their pain into wisdom. Jung said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens." So listen closely. Your soul always knows. It felt the truth long before your mind could explain it. When you awaken, something inside you shifts. You stop asking, "Why do I feel this way around them?" and start trusting, "If my soul flinches, that's enough. If my spirit expands, that's sacred." You no longer need logic or proof. You start to understand you are energy. You are vibration. You are frequency. The people in your life are either lifting your energy or draining it. That's why protecting your peace isn't optional, it's survival. Protect your space. Protect your energy like it's your oxygen, because it is. Your soul always knows, even when your mind argues, even when your heart is confused, even when your mouth says, "I'm fine." Energy never lies. If it feels wrong, it is. If it feels right, protect it. If it feels like home, honor it. That's how awakened souls move, not through explanations, but through energetic wisdom. Letting go is not a loss. It's a spiritual gift. They left, let them. Don't beg. Don't chase. Don't bargain with fate. If someone can walk away from the most honest version of you, they were never meant for the most awakened version of you. Carl Jung said, "You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become." Letting go isn't losing them, it's choosing you. It's realizing that release is not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. It's not abandonment, it's alignment. We often confuse grief with regret. We think pain means we lost something precious. But grief doesn't mean they were meant to stay. It just means your soul outgrew an old version of you. You're mourning the part of yourself that didn't yet know its worth. Yes, you loved them. Yes, you tried. But what you really miss is the comfort of who you were before you realized how much you deserved. That's why letting go hurts, not because they were your future, but because they were tied to a past version of you that needed their validation. Now, you've outgrown that story. You've stepped into a new frequency, one where begging turns into healing and chasing turns into choosing. You don't need closure from them. You need completion within yourself. That's where true peace begins. Letting go isn't weakness. It's wisdom. You stop waiting for their apology because you're too busy thanking yourself for walking away. And when you do, the universe always responds. The moment you stop forcing what's not meant for you, space opens for what is. The right people don't arrive when you're still clinging to ghosts. They come when your heart is free, when your soul is ready to receive something real. So let them go. Bless them, not because they deserve your kindness, but because you deserve peace. You deserve a life that doesn't feel like survival. Love that doesn't make you shrink. Alignment that doesn't need explaining. This is your liberation, not because it's painless, but because it's healing. You're no longer asking, why did they leave me? You're asking, why did I stay so long after I saw the truth? And that question, that's where your power begins. That's where peace is born. Carl Jung would remind you, your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens. Maybe letting go wasn't the ending. Maybe it was the awakening. You've spent so long searching for signs, begging the universe for answers, hoping someone would save you. But you were never meant to be rescued, you were meant to remember. The power you were praying for has always been inside you. The healing you chased in others was resting in your own bones. The love you begged for was buried beneath years of self-rejection. You were never lost, you were waiting to awaken. Now, you're remembering. You've stopped asking broken people to reflect your wholeness. You've stopped tying your worth to how loved you are by others. You've stopped confusing attention with connection. And now, finally, you're listening to your breath, your boundaries, your soul whispering, welcome home. Healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. You're not rebuilding, you're revealing. You're unlearning everything that made you forget your own light. Those nights you thought were breakdowns, they were rebirths. Every time you begged someone to choose you, it was your soul begging you to choose yourself. Every time you were abandoned, it was life removing what wasn't aligned with your rising. You're not just healing, you're realigning. You're reclaiming your sovereignty. You're remembering your divinity. Your light was never gone, it was only buried beneath old stories that said you had to earn love or prove your worth. Now, you're rewriting the script. You no longer chase, you attract. You don't beg, you breathe. You're not broken, you're unfolding. You're finally giving yourself space to remember your wholeness. You were never shattered, just covered. And now, the debris has cleared. You can rise fully, freely, and unapologetically as the version of you that was always waiting beyond the pain. This is the return to self, quiet, steady, powerful. You don't need applause to prove your healing. You don't need validation to confirm your growth. You can feel it in your peace, in your boundaries, in the calm of your heart. You're not who you were, and thank God. That version was built for survival. This one is built for truth. And the truth is, you were the answer all along. You spent so long looking for love in others, in their words, their hugs, their approval, hoping they would fill the emptiness inside you. But the love you were chasing was never theirs to give. It was always yours to remember. Carl Jung once said, loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that matter most. That's what hurt you. Not being alone, but feeling disconnected from yourself, from your truth, from your own heart. You weren't unloved, you were just cut off from your own source of love. You wanted their attention but ignored your own reflection. You gave them everything: time, care, energy, while leaving yourself empty. You told others to love themselves but secretly hoped someone would love you enough to heal your pain. But now, the pretending ends. The awakening begins. The most powerful love is the one you give yourself. It's not about romance or validation, it's the love that says, I'm enough, even when I'm alone. It's the love that lets you walk by yourself without feeling lonely. The love that lets you cry without shame. The love that lets you sit in silence and still feel whole. This isn't ego. It's remembering who you are. You're remembering that your presence matters, that your heart is strong, that no one's absence can take away your worth. You're realizing that being loved by others was never the goal, being loved by you is where the healing begins. Because the day you stop begging to be chosen is the day you realize you already were chosen by life itself. By the breath in your lungs, by the fire in your spirit. You are the soulmate you've been waiting for. So love yourself the way you love them. Stay with yourself the way you stayed through their storms. Protect yourself the way you used to protect their potential. This isn't loneliness, it's strength. Because when you finally come home to yourself, the right people come too. Not to fix you, but to celebrate you. Whole souls don't attract chaos. They attract peace. So the next time you want a message from them, send one to yourself. The next time you wish they'd show up for you, with honesty, with boundaries, with care. Because no one else can give you the kind of love that calms your soul. The world will keep spinning. People will come and go. But you finally arrived. And that's enough. The greatest love story is the one where you choose yourself and never walk away again. Remember this, the people who came into your life weren't random. They were lessons, messengers, mirrors. Some broke you open. Some tested your worth. Some showed you what it means to let go. So now, it's your turn. No more shrinking to make others comfortable. No more begging for love you already carry within. No more holding on to what's gone. This is your rebirth, your moment to rise. Say it with conviction. I trust the timing. I honor the lesson. I choose the new me. Because your healing isn't small, it's powerful. It's not just personal, it's spiritual. And if these words touched you, remember, your pain wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You're not broken. You're becoming. And your return to yourself begins now.